Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make some hiker bars for Easter. So these are going to be a chewy bar, slightly cake-like but biscuit-like as well, I think, and have a chew to them, filled with lots of fruit. Now I saw a recipe for this on Hobbs House Bakery, and apparently it originated with the fabulous Baker brothers. They used to take these bars when they went hiking in the Lake District. But I'm going to vary it slightly because I'm going to give it just a feel of Easter with the hot cross bun type flavours. So the dried fruit with a citrus flavour as well and some spice in it. And you can leave out the citrus or the zest and the spice if you want to. But that's what I'm going to include. I'm also going to do this in a 9-inch 23 centimetre square cake pan. In the original recipe it suggests a slightly larger pan, 8 inches by 11 inches, 20 centimetres by 28 centimetres, but this 9-inch pan will work well. Indeed, if you only have an 8-inch square cake tin, that will work quite well also, I would think. But it's quite a straightforward recipe, so I start off by preheating my oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit, and I've lined and greased my cake pan. So I'll go on to the ingredients. And for this I have 180 grams, which is 1 cup plus 3 tablespoons of plain flour. I have 180 grams, which is 10 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of unsalted butter, which is softened. I have 270 grams, which is 1 1/4 cups plus 4 teaspoons of demerara sugar. Now demerara sugar is raw cane sugar, so you can, if you can't get demerara but you can get raw cane sugar, and it's not too expensive, that will work just as well. I suppose at a pinch you could use soft light brown sugar or golden caster sugar, but anyway, I'm using demerara. I have 2 medium eggs, which would be large in the USA. I have 180 grams, 1 1/2 cups of currants, and the same weight, 180 grams, 1 1/2 cups of sultanas. And for my optional extras to make them into Easter type bars, I have 1/2 teaspoon of mixed spice, which is about 1 1/2 to 2 grams, and the zest from 1 orange. I also have 50 grams, 1/4 cup of caster sugar, that's to sprinkle over the top once they're baked. So the first thing to do is to make our batter, and we'll start off by creaming the butter and the demerara sugar together. So I'll put those into my bowl. And demerara sugar doesn't melt quite so quickly as some of the other sugars, so it may not dissolve completely as I'm creaming it, but that will be fine. So that's well mixed in, so I'm going to add my eggs in one at a time and mix those as well. And with this first egg I'm going to put in my optional orange zest as well, just to get that mixed through. Okay, so with that mixed in, I'm going to simply add my optional mixed spice into my flour and give it a stir around. And then I'm going to put the flour into the butter mixture. and I'm going to mix that on a low speed until it's fully combined. And I've mixed that, and I'm just going to use my spatula to stir into the bottom, and this dough is thick, and it will be quite chewy and sort of cake-like but chewy, if you understand what I mean, once we've got everything in and we've mixed it together. So with that in, I'm going to put in the sultanas and the currants as well, and I'm going to mix it until they're all mixed through. And as you can see, that's nice and thick and full of fruit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into my prepared cake pan. There's a sultana missing there. And then I'm going to spread that around until it covers the base completely and it's fairly level on top. And that's good like that, as you can see. So I'm going to put that into the oven, and I'm going to bake it for 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, I'm going to take it out, and if it's risen around the edges, I'm going to press those down with a spatula to level it off and put it back in the oven. And I'm going to bake it then for a further 15 minutes. Again, take it out, and if it's risen around the edges, I press it down again, and I'll put it back in the oven for a further 5 minutes. So 35 minutes in total should be the baking time. And after that 35 minutes of full baking time, I will allow it to cool down completely. But first of all, I'll come back and we'll put some sugar on the top, and then it can cool down. I baked the hiker bars for Easter for the 15 minutes, and I just pressed down around the edge. Then I baked for a further 15 minutes, and it hadn't risen much, but I pressed it again around the edge, and now it's baked for the final 5 minutes. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, the fruit is just beginning to poke through the top a little bit. So I've just leveled that off, and I'm going to sprinkle over some caster sugar. How much you use, if you use any at all, is entirely up to you, and I've made a mess there. And I think that's enough, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give that a shake. Or perhaps I won't, perhaps I'll give it a brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush that sugar, spread it around a little bit like that. And then I'm going to leave that to cool completely. So I'm not going to take it out of the pan until it is completely cool. So I can show you what they look like now that they're cut. And they look quite good, I have to say. Full of fruit, and nice and thick, as you can see. But I'll have a taste of this piece. As you can imagine, with all that fruit and such like. It's nice and chewy. There's a lot of sweetness to it as well, and I get the orange zest flavour coming through and a little bit of the spice. So I think these would be perfect wrapped up or in a little airtight container in a backpack if you're going hiking, but perfect for eating as an afternoon snack. I even think it would be very good served with some custard as a dessert. So all in all, I thoroughly enjoy these. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.